Hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar, Constructing a Communications Hub, Virtual Planning Meeting Room for Teen Leaders. So let me know in the chat if you're excited, because I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be with everyone here. Thank you so much to the Teen Science Cafe Network for inviting us to lead these webinars. We really appreciate what we have been able to create and use with our teen leaders during these pandemic times. Don't forget that today's webinar is part one of a two-part series. Remember to join us for part two on March 16th at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time for some tips and insights on how we use the virtual planning meeting room, which is what we'll be showing you how to set up and create today in action with our teen leaders. But first of all, hello! My name is Natalie Bachman, and along with my colleague Rose Jansen, who is also on today, we are the adult leaders with the Academy of Science St. Louis STEM Teens Leadership Council. As adult leaders, we come from many different backgrounds. So some of us might be K through 12 educators. Some of us might work in libraries or museums or in other community settings. So first, I would like to tell you a little bit about the Academy of Science St. Louis and who we are as an organization, and share a little bit of background information on our STEM Teens Leadership Council, our Teen Science Cafe leaders. The Academy of Science St. Louis is a science organization founded in 1856 with a long-standing mission to connect science and the community and to inspire the next generation of scientists and science advocates. We do that by hosting a variety of free and or low-cost public science tech programs, now virtual, throughout the year, such as Teen Science Cafes, of course, and the Junior Academy of Science and its STEM Teens Leadership Council, virtual public science talks and tours, and the Regional Academy of Science St. Louis Science Fair, being held virtually this year as an e-fair and its honors division. Like many other Teen Science Cafe programs, this year began very differently, right? Earlier in the year, as we began to go virtual, we were thinking about ways we could connect online that would offer an engaging, simple, and seamless experience for our teen leaders, and how we could share the materials they would need throughout the year without sending yet another email. So, could we create a hub where everything was in one easily accessible place? And the answer is yes. Yes, we can. And we did. We developed and created a virtual planning meeting room. Here's some information about how this idea came about. And this past summer, we were looking at ways we could work together virtually. How can we come together and still work as an impactful and effective team without meeting in person? I give a lot of credit to classroom teachers. When I began researching how we might go virtual, I found a lot of educator resources on Instagram and YouTube. So if you want to search for these at your own time, some keywords to search for might be for Bitmoji Classroom and virtual classroom. So these teachers on this slide here created online classrooms for their students as a hub for their classroom materials. All of the research and from these classroom teachers and these virtual classrooms helped in the creation of this. So this is our virtual planning meeting room. This has been the hub that we have been using with our teen leaders so that our teens have all of the materials they need. All of this was created using Google Slides. If you're unfamiliar with Google Slides, it's basically an online version of PowerPoint. We consistently update it with new links and materials that are relevant for our teens and cafe planning. All of the icons that you see in the virtual planning meeting room are live links. You can click on any of the icons and they will send you somewhere. For example, I'm going to open up the virtual planning meeting room now. And all of these images are live links. I'm going to click on the Academy of Science logo right here. And it will take us to the Academy of Science website. Next, I am going to click on the Google Drive logo, which is right here. And it will send us to our teen leader shared Google Drive. So our teams have access to that. And the calendar icon here will send us to a link to a Google Doc where our schedule is listed for our team leaders. Click on the calendar, opens up a new tab. Here's our schedule. I'm going to close out of that. So this virtual planning meeting room is like a PowerPoint presentation. Our main room here is essentially slide 1 of the PowerPoint presentation, but here we are using Google Slides. You can also connect slide 1, which is your virtual planning meeting room, to other slides. For example, if you click on me, Bitmoji Natalie, we go to this page, which is another slide that has adult leader contact information. And we will go into more in depth on how we do that later, but basically you are creating an interactive slideshow presentation, which is pretty neat. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how you can make your own virtual planning meeting room to use with your teens. This webinar will be recorded and is being recorded and will be posted to view later, but feel free to add any questions you have in the chat and either myself or Rose will be able to answer them. I do plan to go through the entire tutorial first and then we will go back for questions, but I have my chat available right here now. So feel free to say hi in the chat and let me know what you think or if you have any questions. After the tutorial, I will also share my contact information. If you have any questions outside of the webinar, you can directly contact me. Okay, let's get started. So here is what we're going to be going over today. We are going to start by going over how to create your own Bitmoji and add it to your slides. That's the fun part, right? If you don't already have one. How to create your background and set the scene for your images and different icons. How to add links to those images and icons. And the most important part, how to share this virtual room with your teens. So here's the fun part, right? The Bitmoji creation. We're going to start with the most important part, the fun part, creating your own Bitmoji. So if you're unfamiliar with what a Bitmoji is, it's your little animated character that you can add to your planning meeting room in a variety of different ways. You might already have your own Bitmoji or other avatar that you can use, but I'm going to go over how to create your own Bitmoji in case you're not familiar how to create one. The first step is on your phone's app store, download the Bitmoji app and create your account with the login and your own avatar. Your avatar is unique, so think about what do you wear, what do you use. For example, I added a headset since we're virtual now, so then my teens know that it's me. I have my headset on. What do you always wear? Do you always wear a lanyard, always wear a scarf? You can also be creative with it. The next steps are how I link my Bitmoji account to my browser so it's easily accessible. This is through Google Chrome. Right now, you can only use Bitmoji on Mac or PC by installing the Google Chrome browser on your device. This is a free download that is compatible with most devices. There is no Bitmoji Safari or Bitmoji Edge extension. If you have another avatar image type, you can also add it to your virtual planning meeting room. You do not need a Bitmoji. This is just for fun. And here is how I do it. I log on to my internet browser. Here I'm using Chrome, and this is just a screenshot here, and download the extension for Bitmoji. So here I went to the Chrome Web Store and search Bitmoji, and this is what it looks like here, and download the extension to your browser, and then it goes right up here. Then you will have your extension. Mine, once again, is located right up here. I click on it. You can see lots of different Bitmoji images that you can use. Here's another screenshot. And you can search for a Bitmoji image that will fit your theme or with whatever you need. And that is a little bit about Bitmoji. So let me know in the chat too. Do you already have a Bitmoji? Let me know if you use it. They're quite fun. Once you edit your avatar in the app, so whether it's hair, clothes, all the things, these changes will save in our, yeah, hi Kate. Yeah, they're lots of fun, aren't they? I use them a lot now. But these changes will save in the extension. Okay. And now it is time to learn how to create your own virtual planning meeting room. So I hope you're still excited. Thanks for being here. Something similar to this. And let's get started. Wait one moment. All right. The first step is you are going to want to access Gmail or Google Suite. If you're not a Gmail user, you can create a Google account through your email client to access the Google app like Docs, Sheets, Slides, and more. Here's how I access my Google apps. So I'm going to go to my Gmail. Here's my Google apps right here. And I'm going to access Google Slides, this image right here. We are going to start a new presentation and click on blank presentation. We've opened the new presentation and we are going to delete these text boxes. You will need a blank canvas to start. Now we are going to add a background. I recommend having a very simple or plain background because once you start adding icons, it can get really busy looking. You can upload your own image if you want to get creative and take a picture of your meeting room and add it. You can do that as well. But for today, we are going to use the Google image search. We're going to click on background, choose image, Google image search right here. And the keywords to search for are floor and wall background. We'll search that here. And you can see there's lots of different floor and wall backgrounds here. Let's go ahead and search for some. And let's choose this one because it looks simple and plain. Click on it and insert. And click done. Now for the fun part, right? Add your Bitmoji. When you are searching for a Bitmoji, it's also can be hard to search for a different type of pose. So here's how you do that. So I'm going to go to my extension up here, type in pose, and you can see there's lots of different poses that your Bitmoji does. Let's go ahead and click and drag this one. So we have a little bit of a wave. We can say hello team leaders with our Bitmoji. And now we've added it to our virtual planning meeting room. Now let's say you have a memo that you want your teams to see when they access this page. Let's add a whiteboard. We're going to click on Insert, Image, search from the web, and keywords to search for here are transparent, whiteboard image. And here there's lots of different images that you can use. You can click and drag whichever images you like. So for example, here is this one. Click and drag. And let's go ahead and search for another one. Let's use this one right here. Click and drag. Resize it. And so for example, if you see that the Bitmoji goes behind the chalkboard, we want to fix that. Here's how we do that. We're going to click on our Bitmoji, go up to the top, click Arrange, Order, Bring to Front, and now our Bitmoji is in front of our chalkboard here. Let's also add a bookshelf so you can add image to your bookshelf. Once again, we're going to go up here and search. transparent bookshelf image. And there are lots of different bookshelf images. Once again, you can click and drag whichever one you like. But I also go for the more simple design, so I'm going to delete that one, scroll a little bit more, see what we have, and let's go with this one. Resize so it fits the background. I want to match it with the floor and the wall. And now we have our bookshelf. You can try to think about other images or icons you might need to link materials your teens will need to access and search those icons or images. For example, in our virtual planning meeting room, our teens need access to our YouTube playlist to link past meeting recordings, Google Drive to access Teen Leader shared Google Drive in Google, and a notebook to link to other pages and or slides within the virtual planning meeting room. The key is to add the word transparent. Oh, that's perfect. So Lauren, yes, all right, that's perfect timing. Why do you have to use the word transparent? The reason for that is so you have a clear background. If I didn't use the book of the transparent image, I might come up with, let's see, different images that might have a background image, so it looks more like a clip art image, or this bookshelf might have a white background. The thing is we want to be able to see through the bookshelf, so we add the word transparent so it cuts that out in the search. Good question. You can even add maybe a rug or yeah, you're welcome. You can even add a rug or different seasonal decorations. You can also add pictures. You can get really creative with it, so I really encourage that. Now that we have all of the icons that we want, let's add some details. But first, we are going to add a couple of images. Sorry, guys, mine has my dog, and I've also showed that a little bit later, but we're going to add some images too. We are also going to add a YouTube icon, a Google Drive icon, and a notebook to our virtual planning meeting room. Let's do that now. So transparent YouTube image. We're going to click and drag. Add that to our bookshelf, resize, transparent. Let's do Google Drive. Click and drag. Whoops, and resize. And last one, let's add a notebook. Lots of different images here. So for example, let's click on this one just to see what we get. And that's also a transparent image. I was curious to see if, since that had the border background around it, but let's go ahead and add this green notebook. There we go. Now that we have all of our icons we want, let's add some details. On the chalkboard we have here, let's add some text by clicking on Insert, Text Box, click and drag our text box onto our chalkboard. And let's type a welcome note to our teen leaders. We can say, welcome, teen leaders. Our next meeting is, fill it in with whatever details you need. We can make it big. We can change the color, make it bold so it's easily, you can see it. And there is our wording. Now I'm going to show you how to add additional slides over here within the virtual planning meeting room that your teams may need to access for information on cafe planning. Then I'm going to show you how to connect these slides so that your teams can return from an informational slide back to the main room. And I'm going to show you how to link the icons in your virtual planning meeting room to an informational slide. Let's do that now. Let's start with creating an additional slide. Click on Insert, New Slide, and add your text. Let's make this an adult leader contact information slide. Add your information. You can say email at there's my email if anybody wants it too. So there's the adult leader contact information. And now I'm going to show you how to connect this slide back to the virtual planning meeting room. You're going to add an image to this slide, and on each slide that you create, that will create a hot link back to the main room. For example, I'm going to add a house image by searching the keywords transparent house image. Transparent house image. Once again, I'm looking for a really simple design. Let's go ahead and add this one to the bottom corner of our slide. And we are going to click on the house image, click on Insert, Link, Slides and Presentation, First Slide. So we're going to link that here. Let's do that again. So that links, if they click on the house, that links it back to the main room. Let's do that again. Let's add a second slide. We're going to do Insert, New Slide. Let's title this one Planning Meeting Notes. So you can add your planning meeting notes here and add our house image. And we want to link this back to the main room. Make sure that's highlighted. Insert, link, slides and presentation, first slide. Okay. Now we are going to link the icons from the home page of our virtual planning meeting room to a different site or website. We are going to link our Bitmoji to the adult leader contact information page. When our teens click on the Bitmoji, it goes to the adult leader slide. Let's do that now. Click on Bitmoji, insert, link, slides and presentation, and you can also see it over here. So we're going to link it to slide number 2. Woo. Let me move my slides for a second. There we go. Oh, sorry. We can still see slides. Perfect. So click on Bitmoji, insert, link, slides and presentation, slide number, oh, let's see. I can't get it. Sorry, everyone. I have to rearrange my screen here for a moment. Let's try it one more time. Insert, slides and presentation. There we go. Slide number 2. Sometimes you have to move some things around. But this is why we're doing a tutorial today. and now you can move and position your image. Now we are going to link the green notebook over here, to the planning meeting note slide here. We want to click on the green notebook, insert, whoops, oh no. Click on the green notebook, insert, link, slides and presentation, slide number 3, and apply. Okay. Now let's link the Google Drive. We're going to use a URL link for this one. Insert, link. But we're not going to do slides and presentation. I have a link over here that I'm going to grab. And insert it. And I'm also going to add a link to the YouTube button. Insert, link, adding another URL. that links to our Academy Teens playlist, and apply. These are really quick basics on how to do this, but feel free to get creative. You can add, once again, a rug on the floor. Anne had mentioned that I added my dog, so my dog's image also links to a video of us dancing or doing a trick and something like that. So feel free to get really fun and creative, add decorations. You can link anything of the images anywhere. But here's the most important part, right? Now you want to share your meeting room with your teens, but you don't want to give your teens the draft or access to edit. Here's how you do this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this link. And I'm going to add it just here. So we have two of them, right? I'm going to demo. We're going to keep this as our draft, as our editing slide, but now we want to make it as a preview for our teens. So we're back in our sample virtual planning meeting room. Let's also make sure we have a title. We can call it virtual planning meeting room samples. We've titled it. And also, if you did notice, it does autosave here. But we are back in our sample virtual planning meeting room, and we are going to edit the URL so we can share it with our teens. We're going to click on the URL and place your cursor right in front of the word edit. So between the front slash and the E in edit. And we are going to delete and remove that and replace it with the word preview. Click enter. And da, 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 here it is. And oh no, did I delete something? Let's check it back. All right, but anyway, so we're going to show this here too, but this is just a little demo. Let's click around. So if we click on our Bitmoji, it sends us to the adult leader contact information. If we click on the home button, it sends us back to the virtual planning meeting room. If we click on the YouTube button, it sends us to our YouTube playlist for our teen leaders with past recordings. If we click on the Google Drive, it sends us also here to the shared Google Drive. So that's just a little bit of a demo, but now I'm going to open it up for discussion. If there are any questions about the process of creating a virtual planning meeting room, let me know in the chat. I'm so glad everybody was here. I hope this was informational, and I'm really glad to share this information with everyone, but let me know if you have any questions now in the chat. Don't forget that this webinar is actually a two-part series. Remember to join us for part 2 on March 16th at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time on how we use this virtual planning meeting room for our teens. So for example, how we use this in action with our teen leaders. So thank you so much, and I will check the chat. All right, so Christine asks, what is your thinking behind having the virtual room as preview only rather than allowing teens to edit? Great question. The reason for that is because I am updating it for our teen leaders, and I wouldn't want something to go away or accidentally get deleted. So I guess I'm the only one, and myself and Rose are the only ones that have editing access, and then we just share the preview for our teen leaders. And the reason why we do the preview is so that they have a link, so then I can copy and paste this link and share it with the teens, either in an email or everything else. Yeah, it's really easy to delete things, but you can also, it does auto save. So you can open up the version history and that opens up, and you can also see, you know, the undo button is also your friend. But great question, Christine. All right. And then let's see, Kate asks, when you make edits on this sample, will those automatically copy over to the preview link? Yes, they will. So let's test that now. I'll show you. Well, we do need to fix this because for some reason the notebook went away. So let's close out of this for a second. Let's figure out why that happened. And let's see, let's add another notebook. Let's add another image here. We can insert, insert image from the web. Let's add another notebook just to test things out. And let's click and drag here. You can get really creative. Maybe you can add the notebook in your Bitmoji's hand. Then I'm just going to open up a new tab. Copy. Paste. Delete everything after edit. Say preview. Enter. And I don't know why the notebook isn't there. That's never happened. Oh no. But see how it automatically updates too? So if I were to go over here, delete the notebook, and refresh this page, the notebook is gone. So whenever, you don't ever have to send out a new link to your teens. It's always the same link. All right, let me know if there's any other questions. Christine, I've also, let's see, hold on. Let me read that again. Let's see. Sorry. Anne, you're welcome. This is cool. Thank you so much for walking this through. Oh, good. I'm glad you think this is approachable. Yes, it's very approachable. It's very fun, simple, easy to use. Same thing what happened back, during the summer months when we were researching on how to do this. It's so much fun to edit. I really enjoy it. Once again, you can add lots of different things. For example, we had lots of snow recently, so I added snow as these don't link to anything, but it's just a decoration for fun. If you click on my corgi here, also links to some dog tricks. I'm glad you're excited to try this. And yes, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. My email is in the chat now. And let's see, Christine, also, can you just not share the link with view privileges only? I have found that it's easier for me to share that way because I have the editing access, and I think you can do it both ways, but it's just, I think it's simpler for me to do that also. And it's also simpler for me just to grab this virtual planning meeting room, grab the link and have access to it rather than having it in presentation mode. So this sends it as another link, if that makes sense. Sorry. But yeah, when you share a Google Doc, definitely you can control access with the editor view or viewer. But yeah, awesome. Thanks, Christine. Are there any other questions? Will you be sending this info in the chat? Sorry, Christine, what do you mean by that? This meeting is being recorded, so you can view, definitely view later. Let me know if you have any questions. You can email me. My email is nbachman@academyofsciencestl.org. Well, there you go. You can screenshot that too. Yay, looking forward to the next session. Yes, so the next session we are going to be going over how all of the things, everything that we've used for our virtual planning meeting room. So if you like this and you would like to, in the meantime, between now and part 2, March 16th, 1 p.m., which you can register for that in the chat now. Thank you, Rose. I really appreciate that. Maybe you want to try to create your own virtual planning meeting room in between now and then we can see what other icons and images you might need in between then. You're welcome, Kate. Awesome. Thanks for all the tips and images searches. That really helps. Lauren, I'm glad. Thank you.